Hello, I'm Olivia Goody. I make public art in the tradition of the community murals movement, designing and making work in collaboration with members of a community. This is Canas and Carn, a garden community, a glass tile mosaic in a Chicago elevated train station. This mosaic is a permanent public art tribute to a significant ephemeral public art farm, the community garden. I designed this project with community gardeners of the North Lawndale neighborhood. Their motto is Blight to Sight. In December, the Chicago Transit Authority timeline called for completed designs in February, so we had 2 months to design this project in the depth of winter. I was concerned that I couldn't do a design based on the actual gardens because I couldn't see the gardens because they were covered by snow. Then, as gardeners brought in photos as they told about the history and process of making the gardens, I realized that designing during the winter was actually an advantage because I was now seeing and experiencing the garden through their eyes. We began sharing gardening advice. When one of the leading gardeners said, "Talk kindly to your plants as if they were people," it clicked for us that the care of plants might suggest advice on how to care for and interact with people in the community. I thought, what a wonderful message to receive as people boarded crowded trains headed towards downtown. Different plants need different nurturing. To plant a garden is to cultivate hope. Mind your garden. Be mindful of nature and of those around you. Realize your possibilities. The mosaic was made in an intergenerational workshop, teens in a summer employment project working with adult and senior volunteers. Many of the gardeners who participated in conceptualizing the mosaic became part of the mosaic making team. A first step in learning to do mosaics was to look closely at tessellation styles, fitting tiles together closely to form patterns or images, and then practicing tile fitting with paper tiles. Next, we practiced nipping glass tiles, making basic straight cuts and then more complicated cuts, such as shaping perfect circles out of a square tile. To understand the whole process, participants mounted and grouted their tile work. Each participant made a sample piece of their own design. Made in the same tile as the station mosaic, I like to think of these pieces as satellite personal public art projects scattered throughout the neighborhood. There is some very intricate mosaic work in this project, sometimes contrasting organic and geometric forms, using various tessellations to suggest different textures of plants. Here's a close-up of our freestyle green grass. It's interesting that many people spontaneously chose to work in tessellation styles that feel somehow right to them. Here's Jason laying bricks, Ramon building geometric structures, Kelly's focus on delicate and detailed plants, teamwork on earthworks. Daphne had a feel for flowing garments. Here's Mrs. Earl early in the design process, modeling planting. Pencil guidelines are sketched out before tile cutting and laying. After the tiles are laid out on paper, they are held together with clear contact type paper before installation. And here's Mrs. Earl, now transformed into an icon of careful cultivation. Making a garden is not just the planting, it's also the work of preparing, cleaning up, and maintaining, hoping that others will also become more attentive to and caring of their surroundings. The gardeners enjoyed a good laugh about making a gigantic dandelion in the mosaic, a plant that they are usually trying to get rid of. That led to a deep conversation about the difference between a weed and other plants. The answer, a weed is not botanically different. It's something that is unwanted. Another gardener told a story about feeling aggravated at seeing a vacant lot full of tall weeds, then realizing that they were a wildflower planting, thought they were weeds, saw they were wildflowers. Transformation can mean physical transformation. It can also mean changing our point of view. We as a community or an intricate mosaic of different styles, we can flourish together. Thanks for your attention, and thank you to the communities who have welcomed me into your midst.